Where are they at?
They were at Hinton Community Schools in May.
In May.
They were
May.
close to where they're at.
I knew it's gonna be May.
Well, where can we get the corn dogs today?
The meat Twinkies.
Meat Twinkies.
I don't know.
Womp womp. Not the multiple sounds.
Multiple sound. Beth, you about done searching there? And we're back!
Welcome to Gavin with the Gaggle.
Hey.
The gaggle. The gaggle's all here.
It's like we never left.
I'm Ashley.
They just switch spots every now and then. Hi, Ashley.
Well, I don't know. I feel like every episode we
You're
have
right,
to introduce
you're
ourselves.
right. I forget about that.
I'm Beth.
I'm Tyler.
And together,
Hey,
we're
let's-
the gaggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's share nicknames. Like an abbreviation nickname type thing. Like, what did people call you?
Like growing up,
Yeah.
they called me Ash Ho or Asshole. Like any variation of A Ho.
This took a turn.
Yeah. No, because my brother was T Ho because we were the Hohensteins. And so then Sarah was S Ho. But they were like, oh, that sounds bad. So they put an E on it and they called her Shoe. And then little me, like elementary school, is like, are they going to call me A Ho? And my family thought it was hilarious and told everybody that. And so then that actually just stuck.
Aho.
A Ho.
Aho. Aho.
Yep.
Oh.
Or just Ho.
Ho.
Yeah.
Follow that one up.
Yeah. I actually have nothing. For most of my life, everyone only called me Bethany or B. And then in high school, they called me B-Boyds.
And Bettany.
I like Bettany.
And Bettany.
For some
Yeah.
reason, I like Bettany.
Reminds me of botany. Like the plant. Study of plants.
Study of plants, yeah.
Yeah. I need that one.
Lobotomy.
Lobotomy.
La Bettany.
Lobotomy.
Bettany. The scramble of your brain.
Listening to this podcast.
Yeah. You will be changed.
You will be
forevermore.
Lobetnied.
I just shared with you guys the other day.
What is your nickname?
Okay, so like growing up, my last name was Ruer. And so everybody called me Ruer. Even though like most people had trouble. I had a football coach, for the life of him, he could not pronounce Ruer. He called me Ruler. Ruler!
Dude, the variations of Hohenstein growing up was insane.
Were you one of those where your coaches had to talk to the announcers before the games, be like, this is how you pronounce it?
Yeah. One time at a track meet, I got called Hockenstein.
Ha!
Yeah.
How in the world did they get...
I don't know. It was Hohenstein. Yeah, I don't know.
He put his little twist on it.
Yeah. A for effort.
Boyden was probably pretty easy. Did they ever announce cheerleaders? Like, in our cheer squad is...
Yeah.
Ashley, help me.
At every football game.
No, I know that's not true. Really?
Yes, at the beginning.
I feel like
that's-
if
I
you're
never-
like hardcore cheer, it's like, you know, the flipping kind of cheer.
But in like club cheer, no. It was just like by the teams.
Here's the
There'd be
team.
like thousands of teams.
But your high school recognized the cheer squads?
Yep, at the beginning of the game.
That's actually really cool. The school I went to and work at, they don't do that.
I'm pretty sure they did at Sosu.
Yeah, they do it like
think
around
they
the
should.
time of whatever you do, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
So
The national anthem.
The Pledge Allegiance to the flag. Hey, we should start the podcast with the pledge.
Remember a student? And for lunch, she would do the whole morning announcements. And for lunch today is a 20-piece chicken nugget. And she'd go through her favorite McDonald's order.
That would hit the spot. I had McDonald's the other day for the first time in a long time,
Yeah.
coming back from Indianapolis.
Nice.
Yeah, didn't get a stomachache. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. No, so Ruer, now a lot of people call me Andy. Anderson Andy.
That's weird. I don't like that.
No? Ty.
Andy and Tyler are like two separate entities
Yeah.
in my brain.
My family calls me Ty, like my siblings. And
I
then
call you Work Tyler.
Work Tyler. WT. F.
Literally.
I had a
Yours
sister
is
that called me
Tyler.
TP growing up. I don't know the origin of that. But, hey, TP.
I also call your dog Hanky Dingo, and his name is Hank.
Hanky-dingo, hanky boy.
It just rolls off the tongue.
So anyway, sorry, I sidetracked us with nicknames. What's up today?
Like what's new in life or
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
I'm really sunburnt.
Are you
as
guys at
well.
the itchy stage of it?
Nope. No.
I've been hitting aloe vera so hard, like every 10 minutes the first day. So I think mine is completely going to just chill into a tan. But I never rubbed in the sunscreen at your house that day.
just-
That was my problem.
See, I was so good from the pool day. And then the next day, though, I think it was like I put the sunscreen on and it sweat off immediately.
I hate the feeling of aloe. I put it on one time, and I'm a baby. I'm like, Laura, put it on, warm your hands up, don't let it. And I'm like, don't rub it, it's so yuck. And then I like have to sit there like,
Until it dries.
yeah, I can't move. I hate it. And so I'm at like the like awful itchy stage where I'm like, don't itch it because it just doesn't ever satisfy. So yeah. Well, I
I
guess
think
we're
this
all.
should be our lounge time.
This is
This
li-
makes more sense.
Yeah. I feel lounged.
I finished my college class.
Congrats. Congrats. Let's get the right one here. Not that one, this one. Comment congrats. It's a lot of stuff going on in the summer. Summer classes are terrible. You guys hear that guy? Listen. Listen to him.
Oh, he's so pumped right there.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, that's a huge deal. Are you taking any more in the July session?
Nope. I'm going to just take a break until school starts. And I
Heck
have
yeah,
2
dude.
to take in the fall.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you. I just looked the other day. I'm taking 1 in July. I'm going to take 3 in the fall and 2 in spring.
I do not miss taking classes. Not at all.
I can be done by next fall by doing 1 in July, 3 in the fall, 2 in the spring, 1 next summer, and 1 next fall. And I would be done with my master's in special ed.
Heck yeah. I just finished mine last December. I think like this December school year.
Has Janice checked to make sure that you
No,
submitted?
we're just not talking about that. I still haven't gotten my pay bump because I haven't submitted it to HR.
It's
But
like an extra $1,000 or something more than that.
yeah, it is. I just haven't gotten my life together. But I wrote a letter of recommendation for my sister-in-law, and then Mike's brother texted me and was like, Ashley has her master's. And I think I just forgot to tell everybody because I was just so in the like, I hate my life school year part.
It's over. I don't want to celebrate.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sucks.
I just get my pay bump, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Party for the pay bump.
Whoop.
That she hasn't signed up for yet. I can't talk. I need to submit my hours.
I'm gonna start editing the podcast if you keep ratting me out to Janice.
Janice, are you watching? I'm sorry I missed your party.
Yeah.
I
I
hope
know
you're
it's
watching.
Janice's birthday. Janice got a chainsaw for her birthday. She's so excited.
Nice. DeWalt,
Yeah, DeWalt
the
chainsaw.
best. 20
12
volt.
inch, 20 volt.
Nice. Get that 20 incher. What is she
12
chainsawing?
inch.
12-inch, 20 volt.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So it's like a hobby saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but we are praying for all of the trees on the property. The woman
Yeah.
ran Mike's battery out in one day and had to like refill the oil or whatever, like
The chain oil?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like multiple times because she just went hard with it, and then immediately asked my dad for it for her birthday.
I can just see her walking around the property.
Yeah, yeah. No, she's thriving.
Hey, we could have a big bonfire.
Yeah, dude.
The wood supplied to you by Janice. Tools used: 12-inch DeWalt chainsaw.
Not sponsored,
Not
but
sponsored.
should be.
No free shout out.
Oh, I made a
Beth is so
I
tired.
keep yawning. I
Gavin
know.
with the gaggle shirt, and then I messed up yours, so then I didn't want to bring only Beth's.
Oh, now I feel bad for Beth.
I know, but it's the one that's our logo. It's like pinkish, and then it has the actual logo on it. But I don't know why I'm flexing it when
Flex
I
it.
don't have it.
I feel bad
Speaking-
for Tyler. Yours was messed up.
I know, but
Mine was perfect. You're the reason that I didn't get mine.
It also didn't help that I. Ooh,
Is this thing on?
is this thing on? Didn't help what?
that I didn't take my meds yet in the morning, and then I was doing like 12 different things. And,
I know you
yeah.
were like, I'm on my way, but I gotta do this. And then I gotta do, and then Beth's like, I'll be there at 9:30. And then Beth's like, I'll be there before 9:30. 9:35. JK, hello, Beth.
I went to leave the house. I saw 9:20. I'm like, how did this happen again?
It's crazy.
Where does time go? I was gonna say something. Oh, speaking of Gavin with the Gaggle merch,
Yes.
how's it going?
We've sold a hoodie, so
Nice.
that's good.
I have a thing for hoodies. I have a lot of hoodies.
I know, but I didn't know with your long torso situation, like what brand of sweatshirt you wanted.
Tall.
Tall. Oh,
It depends.
you can order.
I don't want depends. It depends. It depends on the brand.
I also got the stickers in though, and the stickers look fucking fire. Freaking fire.
It sounds so short, but in the podcast, it's like, "Meep." So I'm being really,
Episode 1.
yeah, my bad. My bad. I'm getting better with, like, I was thinking about moving the soundboard away from me, but then we don't have a soundboard,
Yeah.
and it's fun to have a soundboard.
Or we could take turns with the soundboard.
Oh, Beth wants to play the soundboard.
Yeah,
I do.
that wants to be the
Soundboard.
soundboard.
Next episode, Beth's on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, so we sold a hoodie. Well, hey, do you remember this? I just felt like a little kid. I'm like scratching
So
my nose.
I was outside and
For just the listeners, I'm like rubbing my nose, my palms, and no. Anyway, I remember the school year we had a curriculum order come in, and I was like, guys, come here, come to my room, and I didn't tell you what for. And then you walked in, I'm like, we got this new curriculum, and you guys were like, wow. And I'm like, no, really, it's really good. And who was it? They're like, sell it to me like Billy Mays. I don't remember. Dude, and I went full on like Billy Mays
yeah.
and
the ABCs.
and the ABC booklet. And that's not it. That's not all. So anyway, we should do a commercial
Yes.
for the pod for Gabbing with the Gaggle merch, Silly Goose Teacher Club merch, and just go ham with it.
I love that.
And for some reason, all I can think about is that water tank that's leaking, and they're like,
Yeah,
bullet
Flex
hole,
Seal.
Flex Seal.
Dude, Flex Seal is actually so good though.
Yeah, I've had the spray stuff, and I had to use it in my pool on a leak, and that was like 3 years ago, and it hasn't leaked.
I know.
Gabbing with the Gaggle merch, Silly Goose Teacher Club.
Yeah. If you go to the sillygooseteacherclub.com, there's a merch button. Otherwise, if you go to ashleyraemakesthings.com, there's a listen to the podcast button.
And if you just go to ashleyraemakesthings.com, that has the Silly Goose Teacher Club button at top. It's got everything there. Go there.
Yep. Watch episode 3
3.
to watch Tyler's commercial.
Gus's commercial. Gus had to leave. He had another appearance to make. So that's why he's not at the end of the commercial. But Beth's like, where'd he go? He had to go, man. He's a busy guy. He can only sit here for so long.
Multiple appointments a day.
Oh, no, I cut Mother Goose out.
Grabs by the beak.
Come here, Goose.
Honk.
Oh, you're showing her butt.
Oh, she got dumpy.
Literally.
It's not that kind of show.
There's a Sharpie stuck to her.
I know. She's having all sorts of issues.
I
Did you know
know.
there's a hole? Saved you.
I should bring giggles.
There's a hole in the bottom.
Yeah, for sand.
Yeah.
So they don't go away outside.
I wonder. We are going to make. We're going to make a little Portuguese geese for people.
Yeah, I thought you got the mold.
Dude, I have not got that Amazon order. It's been like backed or something. I
I thought it was from Walmart.
I
know. Wait, no, it's Amazon.
The goose?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Talk while I look.
Anyway, we are recording this like current time.
Yeah.
We're usually like we're recording our guests in the past, future, whatever. So yeah. I don't really know what else to
Help
talk
her out,
about.
We were gonna kind of change.
Wow. Wow. That was, dude. Every episode we've either had you burp or talked about burping.
Yeah. The intro's
so
like I can
sorry.
burp the ABCs. I love that.
Look, for those that can't see,
I just feel bad with people with headphones. on.
Arriving June 25th through July 7th. We got some time.
I ordered this like with 3 weeks left of school.
I know. Sometimes it just takes a minute. It's thinking about it.
Just thinking about it.
But yeah, we're going to change up our lounge time a little bit and have us record weekly because Tyler wants to hang out with us more.
Yep.
And talk about actual kind of current events. Not that we really talk about current events that are important to anybody.
Speaking
but
of
else.
current events,
I look really tan. That
Yeah?
sun did me great this
Okay.
past week. That's what I was thinking about.
Dude, my tattoos also, I was like, damn, I need to go get some more after getting tanned up a little bit. And then we saw
I want another one.
Let's go.
I want to get a phrase.
What phrase?
Gabby with the gaggle.
My dad used to have so many one-liners,
Yeah.
and he used to say this one thing. And I was like, when I was younger, I'm like, yeah, I get it. And I think I get it, but I don't know if I get it. And it was, you can't be somebody else's man until you're your own man first. Mm-hmm. I think I get it.
You gotta like love yourself before you can love somebody else. That's actually what a lot of my therapy journey was about.
So I'll get a little, not deep, but so my dad passed away in 2017. I wish you could have known my dad because he was like, he would never ever say, love yourself first.
Yeah.
Like that
yeah.
would never be his, but exactly, maybe it's like, I have a hard time believing that's what it means because like he would never be like,
Yeah.
love yourself. But it was when I was having girl troubles in like my teens, and he was like, you can't be somebody else's man until you're your own man first.
Right.
And in my head, it was always like, I have to know what I believe in and what I'm for before I can ever. But that's a really long phrase. So I don't, but I do want to get something. Because I've had this tattoo, never see it. I see this one all the time. I'm like, dang, it look good with something else over here.
Dude, there was this old man at the craft fair, and he was like, both sleeves, both legs. And everyone's always like, when you get old, your tattoos are going to look terrible. I'm like, no, you, sir, look so cool.
You ever seen like the old like sailor guys that have like the pinups and stuff? Like they age well. Like,
Yeah.
The sailing anchors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're just,
I am going through a big silver fox phase, too, so it just doesn't help things. But that's okay.
Silver fox.
Like old men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Old man. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway,
I don't know where to go with that one.
yeah. I need to stop confessing things like that on the podcast. Actually.
I want to get a tattoo for my grandma and grandpa on the same similar note to that, Tyler, but I want to have a shooting star because the night my grandma passed, a bunch of my cousins, like a bunch of us in the family all saw like the fattest shooting star. Like you could blink a
Really?
couple times and it was still just right in front of your face. Yeah. So I already have my cousin and my aunt who got like a shooting star tattoo. So I'm going to get that. And then with my grandma and grandpa's signatures from like one of their birthday cards.
Yeah.
I love that.
Laura has Count Your Blessings. It was how her grandma would sign off on her letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad never, the other thing he always said was, work harder, not smarter. Wait. Work smarter, not harder.
Makes sense either way.
Yeah.
So maybe that's our next tattoo appointment together. We just go
Phrases.
get actual meaningful ones. Like
I'll
outside
come
of
up
each
with
other's.
something
Yeah.
meaningful. I've gotten most of my meaningful ones, I feel
Do you have
like.
a tattoo that represents Mike?
Yeah. So mine is Thor's hammer.
Oh, yeah.
And he has Thor's axe. And it's like huge on his forearm. But
I bet the axe looks cool.
yeah. It's like matching in spirit because like we clearly have very different tattoo
Yeah.
vibes. But then like all of our tattoos are pretty much the same. Like I have one for Bart. He has one for Bart. He has one for Grimmy. I have one for Grimmy. And Ember too. And then he has one for his grandpa.
Why did you have to do Ember like that?
What?
And Ember too.
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to like, get it all out.
I
and
love
one...
Ember.
Yeah, look at hers is actually like probably the best. It's like portrait of
It's a
puppy.
mirror. Like
Yeah.
mirror on the wall.
Oh, that's the one
Yeah.
for her?
Yeah, it's like a little baby Ember.
Aw.
Hey, we should get our doggos.
That would be so cute.
You need to get a doggo.
You could.
How about your adopted doggos?
I have a dog.
Oh yeah,
Marley.
Marley.
I was gonna say Marley, and I would have got so much bonus points for like remembering.
But the fact that you didn't even remember that I had a dog is even worse.
I was thinking about like the animals you live with right
Yeah.
now, and the
My dog is at my parents' house.
Yes.
In Sioux Falls.
yes, Marley. Oh, that's a sad movie.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about
Nope.
that actually. Wow, we are 20 minutes into this and we haven't even talked about why we actually started this.
All right, so why? Well, this is going to be the norm. This is
Yeah.
going to be so. We are recording this ahead of our interview, and our interview, I own it. It's on me. Foul on me. I need to let Beth have the board.
Tee him up.
Yep. I forgot to hit record on here. So we hit record on the screen, we hit record here, and I didn't hit record here. So we made it through our interview with our guest about 8-9 minutes in, and I was looking, and the record button that's supposed to be red was green. And as they just kept talking, I hit the button. So Foul on me. We missed their introductions. It was a great interview.
Yeah.
It was honestly like top tier. It was with Miss Woods
And Miss Haley.
and Miss Haley, Mrs. Woods and Miss Haley, and they are from our school. They helped me out because
They're both ESL what did we?
well,
let
we
go-
talk about that in the show.
Yeah.
Technically, ELD
Yes.
supports are like, yeah, teachers.
But they even said in that interview that there's now a new thing that
Yeah.
ELL, ESL, ELD, and there's even a new term.
Yeah.
But I believe that they came back and said like they always recognize themselves as like ELL. Like,
Yeah.
that's just English language learner. Both fluent in Spanish. Both have a lot of knowledge and experience in different areas. You just have to listen to the podcast. It's great. I know Ms. Woods talks about having to go to the middle schools and the high schools, as well as being in the elementary school.
And I think she taught kinder for a while
Yeah.
too.
And they worked in the same classroom,
Yeah.
if I remember.
Yeah.
We're doing this like 3 weeks after the interview, so we're trying to remember. But like I said, coming up just here in a minute or two, you'll be able to catch that show. Institutional knowledge. That's what I was going to say. Have you guys ever heard of that term? Knowledge gained only by being involved in.
Oh,
So like you can't go to college to learn the institutional knowledge of school.
that makes sense.
Like
yeah.
institutional knowledge, make sure you use the restroom before your class starts. Mm-hmm. You know? Okay, that's what really. Anyway,
But yeah, they were pretty awesome. Give a lot of insight, a lot of cool things we've learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
they're just fun
Yeah.
too. Like Mrs. Woods is Beth's mentor teacher. I think we talk a little bit about mentoring in there. But Beth got to meet with her every Friday and get that mentoring on.
Tell her all of my life issues.
Well, and it's probably nice to have someone outside of SPED. Like, you just get a different perspective.
It was so nice. And then just being able to go to them for other questions and answers and just having a safe place to rant or talk about what is happening in the SPED team, but also knowing that it's not going behind like my colleague's back or trying to like spread gossip or anything, but it's like it is someone I could just go to and vent to about certain things.
Right. Especially, you and me and our third Shay, we work so closely together and I don't think we ever have any issues. But you always have that like, they're kind of annoying me, or this thing that they did or said kind of annoys me. I'm going to get over it, but it'd be nice to just a little vent it out. And then,
Yeah.
your turn's coming to be the annoying one.
What?
We need to share the video of me putting the air horn under that chair, by the way.
Send me that video.
I'm going to kill you.
And I can make it into like a TikTok or something.
Yeah. Hey, we have a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok
TikTok.
and Instagram and Facebook. But I need to figure out the Facebook. I think like people have to add us as a friend, where I feel like it needs to be a page where you just like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's somehow a link to my like personal account, and then I get really confused because I have my Ashley Ray Makes Things, and I'm still signed on to Jitters, and
Maybe we should just like make a full new Facebook.
Yeah.
With our Gaggin email.
yeah. I think that's what I did.
With
the Gaggin email.
Gavin Gaggle. I put them together. Gavin with the Gaggle email, and that way it's just all separate. We all have access to that.
Yeah, no, that'd be perfect.
Long way of saying shortly, go check our socials out.
Yeah.
We have a website,
Yeah.
and at the bottom there's probably links to the socials. We will be linking our socials on the website. So,
I don't know how to do that, but I'll learn.
Insta,
Wrap this up.
Facebook. I'm rapping.
Call you Santa.
Oh, wait.
That's not what I was thinking.
That was scary, Santa.
Satan from the depths. Santa from the depths of hell.
This isn't your North Pole, Santa.
Sorry. Okay. Speaking of that, really quick, I'm gonna give you a piece of knowledge here.
What are you looking up?
You have 185 days until Christmas. So if you need to get Christmas shopping done,
Go to GavinWithTheGaggle.com. Nope, SillyGooseTeacherClub.com.
Or Ashley Ray Makes Things. You can get your Silly Goose merch there. Or, and your just regular teacher merch. It's good stuff. It literally makes up half my wardrobe now.
While we're plugging things in, don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our stuff. And please comment.
And share it
interact
with
a
your
little
friends.
bit.
And I make rocks. Okay. So I don't know what to do with all these rocks I've been making.
We can sell them on Ashley Remakes Things.
Okay, we got to do something because I got a whole big
I
shelf.
also need to take some of the rocks to make
Yes.
my landscaping.
And I'm trying to perfect. We have these koi fish molds, and they're really cool. And I've only gotten one good koi fish out of it. But they're
So
really cool.
comment if you have any concrete.
Yeah, but like honestly, they're like flowers, ladybugs. If you're from our school, go check out my classroom. We have
Rock
some.
on.
Woo! All right. That is a wrap. Please enjoy the interview with Miss Haley, Mrs. Woods, and don't forget new episodes drop on Mondays. And we will see you
On Monday.
next time. Yeah, Monday. Is it going to be July next
Tuesday,
Monday?
Tuesday.
No.
No, think about when this drops.
Yes.
We are almost done with summer.
Don't
yeah, 'cause
say
there's
that.
only 30 days in this month.
The next time that, you see this episode, will be the 30th of June.
So it'll almost be July.
Yep. Hey, 4th of July weekend coming up this weekend. Be safe. Don't be dumb. Don't hold fireworks in your hands.
Keep your fingers.
Yeah.
And hold your puppies that are scared of them.
And if your puppy has anxiety, now is the time to call the vet to get those anxiety meds, not July 3rd.
Yeah. Shout out Trazodone. Not sponsored, but should be.
Elk Creek Animal Hospital.
Yeah.
Good people there.
Very good people. That's what
Shout
our
out, no
mom
free
said.
shout out.
Yeah. Okay. Hit
Bye.
the button.
Bye. Wait. What was that? Like and subscribe to the channel.
Bye-bye.
Slowly them out. Slowly.
Carry on.
So we have a question, and we go around, and the popsicle sticks decide who answers the question, and then everybody else gets to give a report card. So there's a marker, and you grab your thing, and you can grade it, either like A, B, C, or D, or numbers, or like Tyler did it in
Rainbow colors.
rainbow colors.
Yep, Violet was the best one.
Oh.
So our bell ringers
Smiley
today, yeah, a smiley chart.
I feel like you gotta do it again, Beth. Bring it back.
Oh, fairy bell ringer.
What happened? Oh, there it is.
I turned me into a robot.
Oh my god.
Probably my headphones broke because I was like, where'd it go?
Hey, before you shake, we gotta read the bell ringer.
Oh, I was just too on it.
The bell ringer is, what is your favorite feel-good TV show or movie?
I
And you
was
can
supposed to
grade
come up
it.
with the bell ringer.
Yeah, so we just last minute came up with
Good one.
Your grade is just based on whatever you want, whether
Yeah.
you agree, whether they have good points.
Your
There's no
vibes.
rubric.
Okay.
So you just give a
I
grade.
can't grade without a rubric.
Yeah.
Just build your own rubric.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
It's
build
not
my own.
measurable
So
and
many-
observable.
1 through 6, A through F.
Yes.
I always pull myself first.
Oh, it's not rigged at all.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right.
That's really good.
All right. Okay. I mean, this is easy for me because it's like literally the show I go to all the time. Used to be The Office. I actually think I OD'd on The Office. I mean, I've watched it over at least 20 times. But I'm back on the Big Bang train.
Oh, okay.
The Big Bang Theory. Talked to Luis a couple days ago, and he said that he's banned from watching that until he watches another show all the way through. He can't go back and rewatch it.
All right, so I'm supposed to give a grade for that?
Yeah. So like I gave it a C.
Boo.
Hold on, maybe C is the highest. There's no
Oh,
rubric.
that's right.
No grading scale.
No, C on a normal grade. I don't know. I've just never really been able to get into it. I've tried to watch it. Like my parents watch it, Mike's parents watch it, and I just not my vibes.
The one thing that's consistent is it's you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just not my vibes.
It's you. You're the problem. Okay.
Well, I think it'll answer once I answer mine.
All right.
I give you an A minus because I also do like The Big Bang Theory, but it's just kind of meh. Like there's a little bit more positivity shows out there that I would rather go to, but it is a solid one. Like there is some good giggles in it. Characters are funny.
Giggles.
I like it more
Like
than The
my goose.
Office.
Ooh.
So
You've never given The Office a fair shake.
She's too young.
Yeah,
So
true.
I gave you a BB for Big Bang.
Okay.
Because I've never actually watched it from the beginning through to the end. However, when we're eating as a family
Yep, yep.
and the TV is never on, that is an easy one to go to because we
Yeah.
all crack up.
That's fair.
And I don't think any of the four of us have actually watched, maybe Brayden, but I don't think any of us have watched it straight through or have any clue what's going on, but it's funny. So
Yeah. Each episode can stand on its own.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit like there's connections, but yeah. It's like one we can agree on.
I gave you an E for excellent.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
You normally don't give E's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't.
know, I
why
Right
not?
to
wondered
F.
that.
Right to F. Oh.
I don't even. I've never watched The Big Bang Theory, so
Okay.
I don't know why. I never just never been on my radar.
Yeah.
But excellent.
Thank you. That's good.
now that we talk about it, I was just gonna say I really like Young Sheldon more. I got
Oh.
into Young Sheldon.
Yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah, little spinoff.
Yep. There's another
that.
spinoff
Here, you want a tissue?
for an issue. No. The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, and then Young Sheldon had a spinoff of his brother.
Mikey.
Nope. Mikey. Georgie.
Oh,
Georgie and something else.
Georgia and the girl.
Georgie.
Just go on to the next one.
Hey, Bethy Boo, it's you.
Oh, perfect.
It literally
Mine's
says Bethy Boo.
Ted Lasso.
Oh.
Yep, because every episode just makes me happy and gives me the warm and fuzzies. Even though I know nothing about soccer, it makes me want to know more about soccer. So yes, mine is for sure Ted Lasso.
I'm perturbed that my grading sheet is not.
I know.
My report card is not erasing. Okay.
I went to my sped roots and gave it an extra big smiley on the smiley chart. Great show. I just watched it this year actually because of Beth and Tyler. Mike was kind of watching it and then I was like, oh, they always talk about it. I want to know what's going on. And so then I made him start over so I could watch it with him.
Solid.
I gave you a shrugging shoulders because I've heard of it and I know my kids have watched it, but I have never watched it.
You need to watch it. It's
See, I have. You should see the list on my phone of people telling me what I need to
I know.
watch,
Yes.
There's
and
so
that
many
is one
shows.
of them. But so it's like this.
I gave it A plus because
Valid.
that's a really
Yes.
positive show.
Right? It's just a
I
good
haven't watched it a
pick-me-up.
long time, but
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
New season coming out.
Yeah.
The-
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch.
He's going to coach a girls team.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know I had no clue it was about soccer?
That's okay.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
okay.
Not a clue.
I don't know anything.
Honestly,
about
thought
soccer,
it was
and I
like a
still liked
murder
it.
mystery show because, yeah.
No, then I would have been all over it years
Yeah.
ago.
Right?
I graded it the best, and I wish I picked it.
Ah.
So I love that show because I relate to it. I'm a soccer coach, and I grew up never playing soccer. And I mean, I knew the basic rules, and that's all it is. You know, he's a football coach that gets put into a position of coaching a soccer team. He doesn't even know what offsides is. And I've recently fallen down the rabbit hole of looking up podcast interviews with Jason Sudeikis talking about the show and like how he wanted to go. It was so, I think he said it was around like COVID and all that stuff, and there was just a lot of negativity, and he just wanted to he wanted the character Ted to just be all positive. And-
So he must play the head person.
He does.
Okay.
Yes.
He's the main character. Okay.
Yes.
I feel so stupid. I have no clue what it is.
And
It's-
it's like, I mean, like, neither me or my husband, like, know anything about soccer, but, like, it gets you back in your athlete feels of, like, just being able to have a team and, like, everybody's rooting each other on and, like, yeah.
Without being like overly like ooey gooey, it still hits that sentimental point, but still being
I for sure
funny,
cried.
still having like, you know, relationship dramas and it's just so funny. So many funny points. Yeah. So you get the best.
Nicely done.
I was surprised you didn't pick it.
I
I got
yeah,
scared when your stick got pulled before mine.
I should have picked it. Next one up. Why do we do this?
Because it's like my teachers always did
Yeah,
it. Right?
because you're mixing them up,
do.
even
Yeah,
though they
you're
don't
mixing
really
them up.
mix up. They don't really.
Yeah.
I never had teachers.
And let's be honest, you already had the kid in mind that you're gonna pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So you lie anyway.
Yeah.
Guest one.
So which one of you want to be guess one?
So wait, did I win or lose?
You won. So
You're
I'll
number
go.
one.
I'm number one.
You're number.
Okay, to be 100% honest, my favorite show is whatever I'm binging at the time.
Yeah.
A go-to that, like, if I can't think of anything else to watch, I'll go and start rewatching Outlander. Because
Okay.
I've read all 7 books like 4 or 5, 6, 7 times. I don't even know. Like, it's kind of like my go-to series. So Outlander's probably my favorite, but like I've been binge watching Dexter, which I had never seen.
so
Gotta
good.
feel good.
It is not, but it is.
It's good.
I am bonding with my 18-year-old son over it because
Yes.
he figured out that I was watching it and he was like, "Wait a minute, you're ahead of me. You have to wait. Wait till I catch up." And now we watch it together. And now he's gone this week, so I can't watch it. But I just binge watched Gossip Girl.
Oh yes.
I've never watched
Like I
Gossip
said,
Girl,
teenage,
actually.
teenage,
Yeah.
heart throb,
Yeah.
messed up lives. I don't know why it
Yeah.
just. And they're all rich and.
Their
I don't
issues
know.
are so unreal, but
Yes,
it's so fun.
you can
to
relate
watch.
to them as a teenager,
Yeah.
even though you had none of those problems, like, and all the drug use and like they all were drinking. Like,
The eyes.
15?
We need a Miss Haley cam.
all the drinking and the drugs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very intriguing because it makes me wonder, like, is this based off of somebody's real life? Like, did somebody kind of grow up that way? And
Yeah.
is it realistic fiction? I hope not. There's a lot of issues, but
So which choice are we
That's
gonna
what I want to know.
know.
What am I scoring?
Outlander,
Okay.
since that's kind of my go-to for reading and TV watching.
Never seen that.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it was-
so good.
That's why I went with an E for exempt. Because I haven't seen it, but I know Becky loves it, so mainly because she thinks the one guy is cute.
Is that
Yes, please.
yeah.
is that the one that she
gosh.
wanted help downloading one of the
Yeah.
apps so she could just watch
Yeah,
Outlander?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He is so cute. Their
Yeah.
relationship is so hot.
Yes.
Wow.
Like Hugh Jackman? Or
What's his
Oh,
name?
he's hotter than Hugh
they
Jackman.
would know the teacher that we talked about last episode too.
Ashley dropped a bit of knowledge and said,
The old Spain
Gomez.
teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, Gomez.
she goes, the really attractive one.
He was.
Yeah, he was so cute.
I don't think so.
I don't
Maybe
know,
because he annoid me.
It was I never interacted
He's a very nice
with him.
guy, but I just didn't.
Hopefully he
along
doesn't
with
listen
him.
to this.
If he does, he's gonna be like, "Who was that girl that's talking about how hot I am?"
I didn't really know him, but
Yeah, he was very nice.
I don't remember the actor's name
And
in
easy
Outlander.
on
Why
the
not?
eyes.
I don't know.
I don't remember his name either, but yeah. Oh.
My mom would know.
His,
She liked
his
him.
accent. Scottish, right?
Yeah.
Like Gerard Butler accent.
Oh.
That's all I need to do here.
Yeah.
And he refers to the woman as Sassenach.
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 Yeah, he uses the term of endearment, but really it was like a derogatory term for
Okay.
English people.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were fighting. The whole
Yeah.
thing
Love a
is
little
based on when
nickname.
they were Scotland wanted to go off by itself and be its own, rule its
Okay.
own country.
Historical fiction.
Yeah,
Do you know
historical
his,
fiction
his
with
character name?
No.
yes,
Is it Sam?
no, it's Jamie.
Jamie, yes, Jamie. And Sam, I
Oh.
think, is his real name.
Yes. Okay. I had it.
Oh yeah, Sam
Sam
Elliott or no, not Sam.
Hugh,
He's old.
Hugon?
Sam Hugan.
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 Heughan.
That's what I would say. Sam Hune. That's what
Hune.
it is. It's Hune. Sam
Hune.
Hune. I don't know. I might have made that one up too.
I like it.
But it's sounding right now.
But he's. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
not ugly.
I think
Yeah.
I think he's on my list.
Yeah.
He's not a Hugh though.
We've learned a lot about my list today, so maybe we can keep going.
I give you a V plus for variety.
Okay.
And then the plus is they're all good. It sounds like Outlander needs to be on my list. I gave this before we narrowed into Outlander because
Okay.
Dexter
I
is
watch
solid.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And all the podcasts I listen to are all murder mystery or true crime podcast. I mean, I'm not going to murder anyone, but I do
I
like
would
a
know
good
how.
murder show. I know.
Yeah.
Well, watching Dexter, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I could get away with it.
Oh yeah.
You know Dexter has 2 spin-offs, right?
My son did tell me that. Yeah.
So when you get there.
I'm giving you B plus because those aren't really feel good.
No, none of
but
them
they are
are.
good.
They are good.
But you like to feel bad to feel good.
You know, maybe I
Feeling
like to
bad
watch
makes you
shows
feel
where people
good.
have it worse off than me.
There are times where I'm like, give me something that is just so brutal. Like I just
Yeah.
need to disassociate. I don't know.
Or you look at it and you're like, it could be worse.
Yeah.
I call it mind-numbing entertainment.
Yes,
Like
yes.
when I've this school year, pretty much any time I've come home, I'm like,
Yeah.
I need something on in the background while I'm
Yeah.
doing whatever craft I'm working on or
Yes.
whatever I'm doing. Like I can watch it, but then I can also just like
Like you don't have to.
Am
be
I looking into
following
my
it
future
directly.
crafting, true
Yeah,
crafting?
I mean, it works for me.
Yes, me too.
And I gave a medium face because I haven't seen it, but now hearing you all talk about it makes me want to watch
The
it.
very first episode, it'll hook you. It hooked me.
I love that.
Noted.
Of which one are we talking about?
Outlander. I mean,
you have to follow my train of thought.
So you read
Yes,
you read the
first
books.
episode
yes,
is
Are the books
so
better?
good.
The books
Yeah.
are better.
Oh, but
But
you don't get to
yeah.
look at the
That's right.
characters and the.
And now I can't read the
Fun
books without
times they
thinking
have.
of him.
Yeah.
So
Together.
now that I have those characters in my brain,
You don't get the same experience reading it.
you know, and he's so much hotter than
Very
the
good
one I had
description.
envisioned in my brain. So
I hate it when it's the opposite. You like
Yeah, she's
envision
like,
somebody and
oh.
you're like, oh no.
That's not the person.
Yeah.
Match
Yeah.
my description.
All right, let the popsicle sticks decide. Me?
You.
I'm kind of in the same boat. It makes me feel good though, so it's gonna be my choice. It's Law and Order SVU.
Dun dun.
Dun, dun,
I don't even know how many times I've watched that show through. Yeah, that's my choice.
Solid.
that's one of those like when you turn on the TV, if it's on, you just kind of leave it on.
Yes, always, always.
I don't know what to grade now.
I got a G for genius choice.
Thank you.
I have watched Law and Order 2 since I was a very young kid, probably a little too early, but it has always been a go-to. That
Dude.
one with like Criminal Minds.
Yes,
Oh.
all Criminal Minds.
Any of
so
those.
Good.
I just gave you a plus because
I like
I
it.
mean, yeah,
Plus.
Meets expectations.
it's just plus. Yes. Oh, I forgot about the pluses and the minuses.
I gave you a question mark because I've never watched that.
Oh my god.
That's
I'm not
wild.
really into like
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
that's
for
fair.
some
That's
reason.
fair.
I've also
And,
never
like,
seen it.
Yeah.
I am into the Rookie though.
Sorry.
Ooh, the rookie's so good. We're in season 7 right now.
Oh wow.
I stopped watching it for a while, but I don't know why.
I gave it a BTM, better than most.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because it's been like the longest running show.
Yes.
For
Yeah, it
ever.
started in 1999, the year I was born.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
And Mike and I have talked,
We're
and
so
if we have a
old.
boy,
I graduated
we
from college.
would name him Elliot after Daddy Stabler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit and
valid.
shake my head every time dates are mentioned.
Where's
Where's my cane?
I get that. Like I'm getting close to that with like what we were talking about, and I said, "Oh, I was like something something." You're like I was born.
She did that to me.
Yeah,
at one of
it's
our
so
first
bad.
mentoring meetings, and I was like, because I think I said I was pretty sure I'm old enough to be your mom, and then we said something about dates, and I was like, yep, a young mom.
Tyler got called Unc when we got tattoos together.
Unc,
the
yeah.
tattoo artist.
That's where that came from.
Yeah.
I heard that on your first podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, that has to have a story.
But now you said something the other day, and we were calling you old, and we were calling you auntie.
I don't know what
It was the first episode because I had made the joke last episode, and you're like, I said that on the first one. I don't remember what it was, but what? What sound effect did you just play?
You don't have the headset on. Haha, gotcha.
Which one did you do?
Rim shot.
No!
That's what it says on there. You guys are so funny. All right, and last but not least,
Guess number 2.
guest number 2.
I'm going between my always standby, like when I'm going to bed at night, just because I don't have to think about it, is Seinfeld, and I don't know how many times I've watched it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, but it still makes me laugh out loud every time I watch it. And I go between that and How I Met Your Mother.
Oh.
Another one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I've never
both
actually
blind
figured
spots
out
for
how
me.
he met his mother with all the times that I've watched it. I don't
Oh.
know. Maybe
Yeah.
I've missed this.
I've seen it. You don't know?
I don't remember.
Well, don't spoil it.
I think it's
it's another
that's
one
what
on my
I'm kind
list.
of like when I'm tired of Seinfeld. I'm like, oh, I need something else. Then I go to that one. But generally, it's Seinfeld.
It has to do with the umbrella.
Yeah, the yellow umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't remember. Maybe I have seen it. It was a long time ago.
A D, but not because of the normal grading. D for dedicated.
Yes.
Because I feel like Seinfeld fans are like
Very dedicated.
very dedicated to Seinfeld.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give you a no soup for you. My husband in college had every single episode on VHS tape.
That's
So,
dedication because he had to record them all.
Yes. He and his roommate, I don't know if they were supposed to be studying or what, but they had every single episode recorded. And so whenever,
Yeah.
they'd just plug in an episode and we'd watch it.
DVR before DVR.
Oh, yeah. The VHS, honey, were like the big ones
And you could set your VCR
to record.
Yeah.
to record at a certain time.
My
But-
babysitter recorded like Disney Channel movies for me because we didn't have cable.
Oh.
And so then I would take the VHS, VCR, whatever.
VHS.
Well, are you talking about the
VHS.
player or the?
Right.
I would take the thing to put in
tape.
the thing. The tape.
And if it didn't work,
Yeah.
you just
Yep.
Yeah.
Open
You
it
might have
up.
to adjust the tracking on the VCR. Yep.
I wasn't that sophisticated.
And
Yeah,
if
you
somebody
rewind it first.
if somebody broke the tab on the recordable tape,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you couldn't
Take
record on
over
it
it,
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. So
please be kind and rewind.
yeah.
Yeah, please don't.
No, wait. Be
you believe
kind.
we used to
Please
do that?
rewind.
Can you believe there was a dedicated machine to just rewinding tapes?
I can. Do you
remember
we
that?
Had one.
Yep.
I had one growing up.
Put the tape in it.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I gave a smiley face because I watched Seinfeld, but I do love How I Met Your Mother. That's
Yeah.
another go-to good one for me. I like that one a lot.
And I gave you a question mark because those are both blind spots for me. But I feel like, I don't know, I'm not a very good, like, positive show watcher. I sobbed the whole last season of Friends
Oh.
because I could tell it was all coming to an end.
Yes.
And I really, like, can't even rewatch it yet. Like, I'm still a little emotionally
Are you
scarred.
traumatized?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really
That's
sad.
very true. That's a really good one. I can
So
agree
I'd
with
rather
that.
watch murder and rape and everything else like
That
that.
doesn't
That sounds
traumatize
awesome.
Where
me.
everybody's dead.
Yeah.
The main stars never die.
Until they do.
Yeah.
True.
Valid, valid.
NCIS is like one that I went to too. Like that's my criminal one. Yeah.
Well, like in what was I watching the other day? Grey's Anatomy. They kill off all the good people.
Yes.
I've
McDreamy.
never gotten into that
Yeah,
one
they kill
either.
off. I mean, McDreamy and McSteamy get killed
Yeah.
off, and Lexi, and I mean, I still watch. Clips
Oh,
on
that was so
TikTok.
sad.
Yeah.
Lexi, she's the one with the intruder in the hospital, right? Is that he gets?
No, she died in the plane crash.
Yes.
I stopped watching after all the good people got killed off.
I fell
Seriously.
off on that one too.
And I know that like there was just like it's still going. Like there was just a
What?
season, but I have not watched any of the newer stuff. I kind of was like, well, you killed off everybody I liked, so
Yeah.
Yeah. All the original cast is gone. I don't care anymore.
except Meredith, she's there.
Of course.
she just got detained at the airport because she had sunflower seeds in her bag. They're Ardawan sunflower seeds. I guess they're like
Oh.
$30 a bag, but
What?
the packaging or something set off their drug detector.
Oh.
And so she had to, yeah,
Wow.
fun fact.
wild.
I was in the airport when I learned about that.
All right.
But it wasn't in your airport.
I didn't like when George died. He was like the first
I
one to die.
know.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you freaking killed off
And then
George.
you look into why, and it's crazy.
I
Because
forgot
he
how
wanted to
died.
leave.
Not to interrupt our Grey's Anatomy and TV talk. Should we get back on track?
Well, hold on, I
Yeah.
gotta share this. He wanted his
That would've been my
character.
phone.
He wanted his character to be gay and be into, and
Oh.
the director said no, and they had this big conflict, and he said, "Write me off,"
Oh.
and that's why he wasn't even recognizable in those last episodes because he was like, "I'm done." I went down that rabbit hole.
Wowza.
So our lesson for the day.
Yes. Oh yeah, education,
Yeah.
education.
Education.
So our subject class for today, we have Spanish, just because I couldn't come up with a better subject.
World languages.
Dual
Specific.
language.
You weren't helping.
I'm helping now.
Bilingual education.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
And digging into ELD, and then I have kind of like we mentioned, like ELL, ESL, ELD, like what kind of is all of that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about with our guest today.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, like, these questions we have kind of lend into that because it's going to pull from your experience. And the first question we start with is growing up, what was school like for you? Like, you can hit a couple positives, couple not so positives, but in general, what was school like for you?
Who's gonna start?
I am number one.
You are number one. Go ahead, number
I
one.
don't really care. I would say my elementary school years were fantastic. I loved school. I played school at home. Reading came easy to me. Everything came easy to me, which was great. Socially, elementary school, I feel like the cliques got started really early back in the day. We didn't have social media, so our recess was social media, you know?
Passing notes.
Passing notes and I feel like raising my own kids are so much more mature now because my daughter would not have been into boys at all in elementary school, and I feel like all of the girls when I was growing up were boy crazy. And it was a thing. It was a thing at recess to chase after the one you liked and all this stupid stuff. But school-wise, I feel like that was really easy for me. And then middle school, I think, is always awkward for everybody. But that was when school started to be a little bit tough for me, especially in math. And then I remember the way they taught social studies was just so boring. I mean, why is it that it's always a track coach that teaches your social studies?
All of our social studies teachers were football or
Coaches.
track coaches.
And they were lovely
No
men,
offense to
and they're always
coaches.
men.
Yep. No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's actually so
Yes.
accurate.
And lovely men. I still, if I run into them when I go back home, there's a couple that are still with us, and they're lovely people.
Yeah.
And they remember me and all this good stuff. This is more high school, but
They're there to coach track. And
yes.
you have to do something in
but
the
I
school.
still remember Mr. Brownrigg was my social studies teacher in middle school. I don't know which year because I only had 7th and 8th grade in middle school because it was junior high. So I'm not sure which year it was, but yeah, he was so droll, and I don't learn like that. And everything was memorizing dates,
Yep.
and I don't learn like that.
For me,
Notes.
it was read these pages and let's take a test on it.
Yeah.
And we never interacted or spoke about it. It was just okay, you're assigned to this.
Yeah.
And then I feel like in high school, it kind of stayed that way. Languages were super easy for me, English, Spanish. Science was interesting enough that I think it was easy for me. I did horrible in social studies. I did horrible in math. That's when things got really hard for me. So it was like a slap in the face to go from being a really good student to having to actually work for the C that you get in math,
Yeah.
which was kind of an eye opener. Yeah, I don't know. That's my experience, I guess. Kind of a lot of old school teaching, but I don't know. I almost feel like the things I remember from being taught how to read it was more phonics based.
Yeah.
We're going back to,
Yeah.
fortunately, you know? And so I feel, even though we had primers or predictable print books, they taught us the basics.
Yeah.
So I had a good base of phonics before then.
I feel like my elementary was the same way. We learned with phonics. I absolutely loved writing. Writing
Oh,
was
yeah.
my favorite subject. Cause
I
back
love
then I was a
teaching
very
writing.
creative writer. That for me, it's the hardest thing to teach
Oh, I love it.
because
Writing
our
is-
kids struggle so much.
Yeah,
with
writing
it.
Yes.
is my most difficult subject to teach.
Yeah, but back then, I don't know what the different. Well, I guess language, obviously. Not.
Yeah.
So on that, we didn't have any diversity in our school. I went first to Hinton Elementary until 2nd grade, and then my parents got divorced, and I moved to Longfellow, which is not there anymore.
That was fairly diverse, wasn't it? Or
No.
not at the time?
Where was
No.
Longfellow at?
It was right across from
27th.
Morningside College.
Oh.
I'm thinking
because my
of-
mom taught at Morningside.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Children's literature and some other things related to education, and she ran the media center. at Morning. So I would go every day after school and go to the media center and play on the on the Apple IIc computer.
Were those the colorful ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
Oh
those.
no,
No.
these were like
These are older, yeah.
These were like brown, beige color.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a yucky.
The
brown.
color ones were like mine, like
Because my elementary
Late
school
1990s.
had the colored ones. Like
I wanted
in
one of
the-
those so bad.
Like the pink and the blue and the purple.
Yeah.
And yeah.
one of my classrooms I sat in. It was in the media room. We had them all along, and it was the screensaver of the maze.
Oh.
Do you remember the maze screensaver?
I think so.
And talk about a kid with ADHD and
No
trying to listen. I'm just watching the computer in the maze.
Oh, that would be so
We
hard.
used to play a lot of what is it called? About the
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail all the time.
I always died of dysentery.
Yep.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's gonna be a fourth grader next year. Like they did that in their class, and she would come home and be like, "Dad, you died of a snake bite." But I'm like, "Honey, I used to walk into class and get a floppy disk handed to me,
Yep.
and that was our game."
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Floppy.
Beth.
disks.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I heard my mom talking about that game once.
You've never played?
No.
Again with the old thing.
I know.
But I hated math, like anything related to math. If it was like fast facts, I had to be doing. I couldn't add, subtract, multiply, divide anything quickly. I had to. We weren't taught strategies.
No.
We were taught memorization, and the way they drilled and killed it for me was like when they had the two kids going against each other, and you have to be the first one to say it.
Like around the world.
Around
Oh,
the
I
world.
hated
The
that.
anxiety.
That
Yes.
was
The
traumatic.
rocket math, and like we
Yes.
had our sticker charts posted up on the wall, and so
Oh, yeah.
like I was like, oh, they have more stickers than me. Like I would like freak out.
Yeah.
I can remember them posting grades in high school on the wall by our
What?
names. Yeah. I don't think that was ethical, but I don't think
Yeah.
anyone cared.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I had a teacher. We did the time test, but she'd always play Michael Jackson's "Beat It" before we did it. She's like, "Let's get pumped up," and it would be like a snippet of "Beat It."
See, that's a little fun.
Yeah, Mrs. Hubkey.
Mine was just a lot of anxiety.
Which is so strange. Like, how did they not know that there were strategies? Like,
Yeah.
because now we have so many
Speaking
different.
of strategies, that really segues into my next question that isn't up on the board. What? Do you
No, I
wanna
was gonna say
something?
strategies about phonics. I was a terrible reader. I used to get like, I went to a lot of different schools growing up, so I have a lot of fractured memories. But I do remember getting pulled into like a closet because it was like a teeny tiny room, and we did Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah.
And I still
Sorry, when I got
remember
pulled into the closet.
That's what I heard.
the little card that was when two friends go a walking, the first one does
the
talking,
talking.
and then
Second one does the walk.
when the silent E, he jumps over his consonant friend and taps the middle vowel. So like that's been ingrained in my brain, and even now when I teach, sometimes I throw those out. There's two vowels because it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's something
in your
goofy
brain.
to
Yeah.
help 'em remember. So though we are in very like kind of different fields, I do a lot of language development in my classroom, and so I've had some weird ways that I've gotten students to like make different letter sounds and stuff. Do you guys have any like weird strategies that
Oh.
like have helped a student learn? Like for example, I had a student last year who he was completely nonverbal, and we were getting him to make some sounds, and I had balls of Play-Doh, and he started to go ooh because I would like put it on his forehead and I go swoosh, like squish, but
Yeah.
swoosh, and then he would be like ooh, and he would hand me Play-Doh because he wanted it like squished on his forehead. So like anything, I thought it might just also be a me that I do a lot of weird things in my room, but anything like weird or that you're like, wow, I never would have thought like that would help a student develop.
I can't think of anything specific, but I do have like a lot of jingles and things,
Okay,
like
yeah.
like just chants and things
Yeah.
that we just come up with. Like, I don't know where they come from, but it's from somewhere, and then that becomes our thing
Yeah.
for the year. Like whenever we're talking about this
Yeah.
topic, one year it was Ice Ice Baby because they couldn't remember how to spell
Yes.
the onset rhyme. Is that the rhyme ICE or is that I don't know?
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
Yeah,
the line.
onset
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
Yeah.
So they couldn't remember ice because you use it in a lot of other words. So then I would just play Ice Ice Baby or I'd sing
Yeah.
it. Dun, 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 ice, ice, baby.
I love that.
And then I had a picture that came from like an ice, like an ice
Igloo? Oh.
Yeah, when you go to buy your ice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a
Freezer?
picture of an ice freezer. Thank you.
Yes.
Ice box.
Ice, ice,
Ice
baby.
box.
Oh my god.
Ice box.
Yes.
It's an ice box.
That you would see out like outside of a
The gas
gas
station.
station. Yeah.
So they had a picture of that. And then that would just
I love that.
That's so
I always, but for me, it's always like got to be like a song or a chant or
Yeah,
something.
I love using songs. Like any stupid little song that you
Yeah.
can Google. Like Jack Hartman has something for everything, and they,
Jack Hartman.
yes, oh my
Kids
gosh,
Music Channel.
yes, I got to meet him.
What?
Yes, I went to the National Kindergarten Teachers Conference in Las Vegas one year, and back when the district would let us go to things,
He
and
was
they'd pay
getting
for
it
it.
at that conference
Yes,
for sure.
exactly. And I was so embarrassed. Like I took my teacher friend who went with me. I took her picture with him
Yeah.
because she wanted, but I was too embarrassed to say
Yeah.
now my turn. But yeah, but any like little song or like something that I didn't even think about. I would always have the kids watch my mouth, but now even I mean this has been forever, but like going to the bathroom and making them make the sound in the
Yeah.
mirror, like people have those little mirrors and those work too, but like something about walking out of the classroom and
Yes.
going and standing in the bathroom
Yeah, you
and
remember that, like,
everybody's right in front of the
experience.
mirror and they
Yeah.
think it's silly,
Yes.
but they have a hard time especially Spanish speakers differentiating between the vowel sounds.
Okay.
So, and some of them, your mouth looks the same. And so it's really hard. And so like, even just coming up with pictures or like animals that they know that they start with that first sound, just so they have some way to like remember it.
Those sound stories are really good.
Those, yeah, they are. What are they called? Secret stories?
Yeah, secret stories. There's one with a grandma, and she says, "Ah!" And so one day I came into I was coaching with Luis, and I had an old grandma wig with glasses, and I came in. It was blah, blah, blah. His room was your your room is, and I came in that day because I was her sounding.
That's so fun. That's good. I love that. And that's something I'm sure those kids will like remember forever,
Yeah.
you know?
They might not remember why.
Yeah. But they'll remember the
Miss
grandma.
Haley, you're the grandma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've seen speech paths use popsicle sticks and touch the student's tongue.
My student
Or-
uses his
or-
hand to touch my tongue.
Yeah,
Oh,
but like
that's super fun for you.
Yeah.
but placing the student's tongue where it belongs in their mouth to make certain
I would
sounds.
probably gag a student on accident.
I was a sign language interpreter, and it never was.
That's cool.
It didn't make sense to me. I had students who were either profoundly deaf or close, needing to go to speech,
Oh,
and I was like, sure, but
Yeah.
but really for them that was really important because they could barely hear the sound. So like placement of the tongue, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
yeah. I think our phonics, oh my gosh, what is it? Benchmark does a really good job with that because they have the sound cards with the mouth, and then it does
Yeah.
like in the teacher's guide, if you read that closely, it does tell you where to tell the kids to put their tongue. And like I think the biggest thing with teaching second grade is teaching them voiced and unvoiced.
Okay.
Because you can put your hand up here, and when you do like the K sound, you don't feel, because it's like an air. But when you do like the
not a
hard G
vibration.
sound, like g, yeah. I don't even have
That's
to
so
call that.
interesting.
Yeah. So I don't remember if I call it voice. I think I did call it voiced and unvoiced, even with my ELLs.
Yeah.
But it helps a lot because then they're like, they see your mouth, but your mouth still says the same thing for k or g, you know, and it's just a
Yeah.
matter of can you feel it or not. And a lot
So
of
cool.
like the ED endings, a lot of that is based on if you have a voice sound or an unvoiced sound before the ED. And so just getting them to relate those two is like
Yeah.
That's really
a
cool.
huge trick. Yeah.
Never known that.
There you go.
All right.
Sorry, I'm playing those ED words in my head and
Yeah.
listening to that.
Yep.
Speaking of, you were saying like Spanish speakers have the vowels are changing different. One of the things I've realized as this past school year's gone on, and my first time working with students who are mainly speaking Spanish and then reading, you know, a lot of them are on these timed fluency reading passages. And I've really, really gone away from that because it was like I'm watching them.
They are nodding vigorously in agreement.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking
I forget
the
no one
time
can
off.
see us.
And-
Well, some can,
Unless
but
they're on
yes,
YouTube.
yes.
Yeah.
But I was just like, this is so unfair. I'm trying to make you rush read.
Yep.
I'm not allowing you to use any single strategy.
How
Because-
many years did we say that?
Oh
We
my
questioned
gosh,
it.
the fast,
The fast
assessment.
test. That used to
Yes.
be everybody's.
Oh. And that was their grade. I mean,
Yeah,
what is it?
essentially, it was their like what we sent to the
We
state.
didn't
Yeah.
even grade them on
Words per minute.
comprehension.
No,
That's crazy.
and every year we were like, why? And it was one of those hoops you have to jump through. Like it was what the state wanted, so that's what the state got. But like seriously, I mean, my kid maybe could sit there and sound out
Yeah.
the whole entire passage and comprehend it, but maybe got 10 words per minute because
Yeah.
they needed that time.
Yeah, there's very specific students that are in my mind that I would call a decent to good reader, but we couldn't get over 100 words per minute. Are you kidding me? Like
No.
they had to really, like, I guess my background of sign language interpreting is a little different, but there is lag in process
Yes.
time and interpreting time. And I just couldn't help but think there's got to be something similar going on between that Spanish and English connection, plus the fact that you're reading letters and making different sounds
Absolutely.
than what you grew
Yeah.
up.
I think it's also different too if you're reading it out loud versus reading it in your head. You know, if you read out loud the way you read in your head, like I'm a speed reader. Like even when I'm reading novels, it's just how I read. But if I were to try to read it out loud, I slow down because it doesn't sound good. And we have kids that were like, and you can't understand. I mean, you know what because
What are
you have the
taking away
script.
from that story.
Yeah, but they didn't understand any of it. They're just saying the words. Some of them are mispronounced because they didn't take time. The other thing with, what was I going to say? Oh, with words per minute was it doesn't take into account accent.
Yeah.
So, like, some of my kids, even if they use the incorrect vowel sound, like if they used, especially for the A, if they said ah instead of ah, but I know what they meant, like they read the word, they know what the word is, and so I would count it right.
There were many times this year where I was progress monitoring and they were on that, and I literally was like, oh, they really didn't give me the full ending, but I know
Yes.
that they were. It makes a very
Yeah.
gray area, and then I boiled it down to, did they know what they were reading? Yeah. Like, so we've kind of started shifting away from that, and now more focusing on the like. What words are they getting wrong when they get them wrong? And let's drill and kill
And
that.
why.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of vowel team, consonant blend, that kind of thing.
And there's languages too that drop off the endings of their words when they speak. And it, you know, if they're reading to themselves, maybe they don't. But when they're reading out loud, if it's common in their, I don't know, families to drop off the ending, they might not say the ed ending, or the es ending, or whatever.
Right. Yeah. It. We didn't know in the beginning of the school year. We just took on what we had because it's like, don't rock the boat anyway. And then like it was just like,
It was survival year for you guys.
yeah.
Yeah, literally.
For sure.
I remember walking in one day. We had BLT in the morning, and you guys were all there already. We're like barely trying to get
Barely
there.
getting there at
By
7:30.
7:30, and I was like, I just want to commend our sped team because you guys, they're
They're there like 6 a.m. I'm
And-
not even kidding.
Yeah.
and they're collaborating that early.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because we do mentoring on Fridays, but like I'm rolling in at like 7:30 and 30 seconds at the earliest.
There's just no way, like, after school, I could ever think about a school
I'm-
task.
no,
Like, my
I'm the
brain
same
is
way.
fried.
Yeah.
We literally like if it's 6:30, then I'm starting to be like, and if like I'm not there, you're not there. It's
Yeah.
like you used to be there. The
Yeah.
end of the year, you were taking your time.
Not
getting
the
there.
last month.
No.
The last day of school, I think Becky called me and she's like, I'm Motel 6 in ya, because it was like 7:30,
Yeah.
but I went to Walmart and like,
Oh, geez.
I was like, it's the
Beth
last day of
beat you.
school, I don't
Yeah.
need to like be here early. And yeah, Becky called because one time, like 2 years ago, I slept until like over 8 o'clock. Like, yeah, not great, but that's okay.
So we panic if
Yeah,
we aren't
yeah.
there at
Yeah.
least by like 7.
But we spend that time like I would say half like working through stuff, half just like
Chilling.
chilling out and getting that time. And it's so nice to like have that and then look up and be like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. Now we can start easing in, getting ready for the kids to walk in.
Days that I get there at like 7:30, I feel like I'm in like a state of panic all day
Same
because I
way.
just did not like.
Yeah, you
Into my
get there
day.
fairly
I like to
early.
be there early.
Yeah.
I used to when I was a classroom teacher. Oh my gosh, I was always.
I've
7.
never been a morning
Yeah, for
person, so
sure.
I always I would stay late in the afternoon, especially when I was first starting because it was just my husband and I up here in Sioux City. We didn't know anybody. I mean, it was just us. We have no family anywhere near town, and we hadn't made friends yet. And so he had worked an 8 to 5. So like I would stay at school at least until 5 every day because I'm not going home to anybody.
Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, I hope when you're in your 24th year, you arrive at 8 and you leave at 3:40.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that is what I do, and I love my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never take anything home either.
Nope. Once in a blue moon, I will like do plan book over the weekend or something if I haven't gotten it done.
If you didn't have time during the
But
week.
you also you learn how to use your planning time more effectively as you grow, as you go, and you have, especially when you have a couple of years under your belt, you're like, okay, yeah, this coming up, I remember that, or here's the changes I want to make. So you use your planning time to make those changes, and then you move on. So
In my
experience.
first few years, I was like, my planning time, I was like,
You just
That's
seriously,
what
you're just dead.
sugar. I need all the Starburst, all the Skittles.
Yes.
Yeah, forget the freshman 15. It was like the first year of
Yes.
teaching 25.
Yeah.
I eat my feelings.
Yeah.
I go lay on the floor in the back of my room, like literally just lay
I
down.
say that. I still do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
Put my feet up
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a feet up the wall.
yep. Oh, it was the last test of ISASP, and I had just gotten done. I was waiting for somebody to pick my folder up, and I had my shoes off, feet on the table, and I was just like lounging. Pilgrim walked in, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "No, you don't need to explain. Don't explain."
Explain to her. She's
I just was so like, you're walking around the entire time too, but like, even though no one else, you just feel like laser focused for so long.
And it's a different kind of tired.
It is.
Yeah.
I've been talking and answering 10,000 questions, and it's very mentally exhausting.
And apologizing to the poor babies who have to sit there for 90 minutes when they were done in 10 because they don't know what they're doing or they don't understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, sharing a room with someone you don't get to lay down near as often, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. Because when I didn't share a room with anyone, I took a lot of 30-minute cat naps or
Yes.
20,
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
Maybe didn't even fall asleep, but it felt like it.
But just
Yeah.
the mental break of laying there, not thinking, not
Exactly,
speaking,
yes.
not having to make a
The
decision.
quiet.
I sometimes put on a little meditation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've done
Look at
that.
you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a little clicker. This was within the last month. And Ashley was sitting in my room. She uses my room to get out of her room to do some planning. And I had a 4th grade group in, and every question I got, I just clicked it. And in 3 minutes, I was at like 19 questions. And I told them, like, guys, from what are we doing to this to that, like, that's how many questions. And, they were laughing. Like, they started laughing.
That's cat.
That's cat, bro.
Oh my gosh.
So,
No.
yeah, the mental exhaustion behind it is for sure. How did we get here?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
We've been all over the place.
I don't know. It's just
But
what
we're
happens
getting
when
kinda up
teachers
there
are in the
time-wise,
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 50 minutes.
Maybe we have you guys segue into like remember your why since there are 2 of you, and then also maybe sprinkle in some like teaching advice / favorite things about teaching. But remember your why is just a segment we close out every episode with to just kind of bring some positivity back to teaching because like there's a lot of negative, but there's
Absolutely.
positives in it. So I don't know if you guys want to rock paper scissors again for who goes first, but whatever.
Do you know your why off the top of your head?
I've got it kind of brewing. It's brewing. Do you have your why?
I mean, my why is like kind of tongue in cheek because when I left high school, I was going to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
And then freshman year, I took Chem 109 and I got an F. Paid for this class and got an F.
Oh, the worst
And-
feeling ever.
Yes. And it wasn't like, okay, my parents would disagree with me, but I felt like I tried. Now, did I wake up and go to my class at 8 a.m. every single day? I did not. Because I went to Lincoln and it was a huge lecture hall.
Yeah.
So I was a number, which is why I went there. I wanted to be a number. So that happened. So within the next 4+ years, I changed my major like 5 times. And I finally just was like, Spanish was there the whole time. Like I was going to double major in Spanish no matter what it was I was doing. And finally, I don't know if it was my mom or my dad, but one of them was like, why don't you teach? Oh, it was my mom. Why don't you teach Spanish? And I was like, that's an awesome idea. The whole reason I wanted to do Spanish was because I had an amazing high school Spanish teacher. So I was like, okay, let's try that. And I applied to the teachers college and did all the rigmarole you have to do. And then that got me studying for a summer semester in Mexico. And yeah. And so it was like, I kind of stumbled into teaching. I should have known, having been, we played school all the time. Like my parents even let us keep a little school set up in our basement, like the corner of our basement. And like anything that the teachers would send home with us was just like priceless because we could play school. So mine was more of a stumbling, I think. And then moving up to Sioux City, the only thing I was qualified to teach, because obviously I'm not teaching high school Spanish, was ESL kindergarten, because my ESL was K-12. And so that first year, that was the only thing that I applied for. It was the only thing I was qualified for. And if I hadn't gotten that, I don't know how long it would have been, because I did not want to sub. I mean, I looked like I was 15 when I was 25. So like, yeah, student teaching in a high school for Spanish was wild, because I'd get asked for my pass all the time. And like I wore power suits, because and I did have the going for me that I was a Mrs. already, because we had just gotten married before my student teaching, but yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
And there's been times over the years, like when I was what do we call it? Not pink slipped, but what's it called?
Like let go?
No, I mean, displaced.
Yes, displaced.
Oh. There's been a couple of times, 2 times that I was displaced because of seniority, whatever. And I would get calls from North High, and they'd be like, we have a Spanish position open. And there were 2 different times, 2 different years, that I went up and I walked around and I talked to the people. And what I didn't like about it was I was used to collaborating.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part, is collaborating with different teachers and from different areas and different specialties. And even in the Spanish department, they didn't collaborate. Because I asked, like, when do they have planning time together? And he's like, oh, no, they don't plan together. I'm like, well, what about the ones that teach the same level? No.
Oh, that would be weird. Very
Yeah.
secluded.
So, like, my why wasn't necessarily, I mean, I had a fantastic Spanish teacher. So, I mean, I thought that's what I wanted to do. So, I guess you could consider that my why. Like, she was just fantastic. And I see her when I go home. And I don't know, we still have a online relationship, like with Facebook and stuff.
Awesome.
And she and my mom play cards once a month and all this stuff. So, like, I still get to see her. But I don't know. I kind of hope that I'm that teacher for someone else. So we'll see. We have a few former dual language students that are going to school to be Spanish teachers.
Really?
cool.
Yeah,
That's
one
awesome.
graduated this year. Mia graduated this year from Buena Vista, and she's going to teach English in like overseas somewhere. She
Okay.
Oh,
hopes. And then we have another one, Paulina in 5th grade. Her sister Fernanda is going to BVU, ironically, to be a Spanish teacher. And then Yoseline, who just graduated high school, wants to be a teacher.
And we have Kat and Nat.
And Kat and Nat were our babies.
We're our babies.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We had them, so I had them in 1st and 4th.
I know for sure I had Kat in I wouldn't say preschool, kindergarten. I need to look at my class, because I don't know if I had Nat. But I know for sure it would have just been the same 2.
Well, because they were in dual, you had to have had them.
I had to have. I need to look and see what she looked like as a little one, because that's.
I'll show you my pictures.
Oh yeah, you do that.
Remember Castelia that worked for us too?
Yeah.
She worked. I was her teaching assistant in
Really?
Even Start when she was a baby,
my
when she was 3 years old.
Oh my goodness.
She was the cutest baby ever. She had this cute bob haircut.
That's so fun.
She's beautiful. Still beautiful. Anyway,
But
that
the
was-
babies.
that kind of goes back to my why and starting in serving the population that we do. I did getting out of college. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a double major in English and Spanish. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? So I started working at a employment agency, and I did interviews. Like, I helped people fill out their job applications, Spanish speakers, and I did all the interviews, and then I go to like wherever they're gonna work and and find out what they're going to be doing and come back and like
Oh.
tell them, okay, this is what you're going to be doing on the job, blah blah blah. And I had to do all that in Spanish, so I really liked being able to use my Spanish to help other people. And that lent itself to ESL. When I was at Riverside, it was like, oh yes, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be a Jocelyn. I wanted to be, or the ESL teacher too. I was like ELD teacher. Yeah, so that's my why. It's just like help using the skills that I have to help people just actualize and have a wonderful life.
Yep.
Or better their life.
Sorry, I have a hold my thought.
She's holding her
I
thoughts.
was
So
like,
she,
what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Are you going to serve us drinks now?
then she waits for me to be like, hey, you're holding your thought.
His wife did make treats, but there was a question that I had, and I was thinking along the lines of like teacher advice, since you guys have had like a lot of different experiences, and I feel like with there being such a big like ELD population, especially in our like local area, what would be your number one like piece of advice or strategy to help like even just a typical teacher add some more like language development into their day?
I really think like just sentence stems as much as you can. It's so helpful. And
Okay.
like rehearsal before any student is going to say something out loud to the group. Like make sure they've had time to either rehearse it with you or a partner. Using a sentence stem so they can just work on forming those complete sentences.
Yeah.
That's like my
I
go-to.
really like that too.
QSSA.
There you go.
Well, and that's how like you guys supported in my classroom when
Yes.
we started it last year, was we would do like 5 speckled frogs, which is an absolute banger, and it'd be like, how many frogs are left?
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
blank frogs left. Yeah.
I can remember doing essentially sentence stems, but we did predictable sentences in kindergarten, and usually it was like a letter of that's when we did letter of the week, which whatever, you had to jump through hoops, but we would do predictable sentences, and that it goes along with that because then the kids get to see their peers either go up and track the print while they say it, or everybody has had a turn before them. And so I would always make sure that like there were plenty of models that would go before the kid that needed that support the most. And so like A is for whatever, and the kid already knew what they picked because I would have pictures like what you picked, so they already knew that. And it's the same way with sentence stems. It just starts them off like it makes them
Builds their confidence.
yeah, builds their confidence.
Scaffolding.
Thank you. It makes them feel good because they've contributed, and they actually raise their hands more when they know what the sentence stem is talking about, and they only have to fill in that little spot. And I think with writing too, I've done that. I've scaffolded writing that way too. Just giving them one space that they need to come up with a word, and we can do that many different ways with
Right.
pictures, or even if they tell me in Spanish and we figure out what it is in English, like any kind of strategy to find that one word, but then they know that they've put together a thought. And I've watched second graders this year just because of sentence stems, like they will raise their hand more, and then it might not be right,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
but they got a
using
smile
language.
on their face, and yeah.
Just a general statement, confidence. I think that is such a, with our kiddos in our school, I don't know, there's a lot of them that just don't feel like they know enough.
Yeah.
And building that confidence has been a focus of mine in my room because, when you work in small groups, you do see that potential, you do see that knowledge, and they've held back so much. And like, it's been neat from the resource perspective. We've had classroom teachers come to us and say, we're seeing these students answer more in class. And like you said, may not be right, or sometimes it is, sometimes not, but it's like that confidence to overcome the fear of, I may not know how to say what I'm thinking,
Yep.
but they do have it in there. That was just something like popped in.
Yeah, it's there, and I've even had kids that will come up if we're working on a particular sound, for example, during whole group, or an ending or a prefix or whatever we're doing, and they know what we're looking for. They don't know what the word is that has it in it, but if the teacher allows, they will come up and point to the word. And 9 times out of 10, they're right. They have no clue what the word is. They probably don't know. I mean, they might not have understood even what the prefix or suffix or whatever it was we're working on, but they know what they're looking for, and they feel confident in that the teacher allows them to answer in their own way too.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about dual too, because and co-teaching in classrooms and knowing Spanish, like being able to make connections and then, excuse me, yeah, connecting. Oh, you know this word in English or in Spanish, like we can connect it this way.
I think it's cool too. You guys gave your stories, and both of you have what, like the language part before the teaching part. You know, like just having gone through, college a couple years ago, like they told me like, hey, if you need to get electives, go get your ESL or ELL, go get that. And so I did, not because I had any like passion for it, but because it was just another notch to get to help with a job. Where you guys are in that field and you have the passion for the language part first. I think that's really a really neat thing. Yeah, like you're not just there because that was the spot that was open. You're there because that's where you want to be.
And if you're at Irving long enough, you'll see that because people don't leave. The people that leave, I mean, okay, there's been people who've been there a long time and their life changes, so they have to leave.
Yep.
Something like that. But the majority of us stick around because that's where we wanted to be to begin with. Like, this is, I mean, especially as a classroom teacher teaching in Spanish or English, it didn't matter. I got to use my Spanish every day. That was my dream job, was like Irving. Irving is my dream placement. I mean, and we have things that come from top down that you have to do. You have to jump through the hoops. There's red tape, there's policy, whatever. But like at the end of the day, like that's the population that I want to work with. Those are the kids that need us the most. This school has the most dedicated teachers.
Support.
And the admin support is, I mean, I've told Maria all the time, I'm like, I'm only leaving Irving if you leave. Like, or, I mean, you can't say that. Never say never. I mean, I drove a minivan for 10 years and I said I'd never have one. So,
I miss my minivan.
but yeah, I mean, I'm sure Melissa feels the same way.
I can't imagine teaching anywhere else.
No.
We
with
aren't
any
paid
other-
sponsors for Maria.
Right?
This
Seriously.
keeps getting brought up
it's
every
every
time.
single person we've had on from the school has said the same thing. We've all said the same things. Like, it's awesome.
And I went through, I don't know how many principals you maybe had, but I had 5 principals in the first 4 years of my teaching.
Oh my God.
And it was just, it's insane. And finally, Maria has been there the longest. And then with the addition of Rachel, we've had a couple other assistant principals, and they've moved on to move up, you know. But it's just, it's nice to have that consistency. She has the passion. I don't know. She matches the drive of her teachers. And it's not to say that she can't be the bad guy if she needs to be.
That's a great way to
But she does it in a way, it's always kid focused. And so, it's always about the kids and about what the kids need. And so even if you're the one that's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Even when you're the one that's wrong because your cheese got moved.
Yeah.
If you've never read that book,
Our cheese is getting
Don't Move My Cheese or whatever it's called.
but it's for the right reason.
Yes. And so then you can go, all right, like, my bad. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I don't know. Like, dual language, I wish everybody could go through it. My kids both went through the program. Lauren graduated with her CELA by literacy from high school. She's minoring in it in college, only because she doesn't want to take all the classes needed to major.
Valid.
Braden is dating a gal that her family only speaks Spanish, and he hangs out at their house all the time, and he'll tell you he doesn't speak Spanish, but he speaks Spanish. Well, you had him.
I had him in class.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a fun dynamic. Let me tell you, having your kids in the same school you work, it was like, Melissa, I'm coming to you as a mom. We're not coworkers right now. And Maria was great with that too. Speaking of
I
singing
had
her
Maria's
praises.
son too.
Yes, I did too. Yep.
Yeah, I think when you're consistent as a leader, there's no gray zone, there's no wishy-washy. So whether you have to be the bad guy or not, it's like, this is the way things are no matter what. And that's how they are. You got up and got something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get
Ooh.
our one-of-a-kind t-shirts that you only get if you're on the pod.
Oh my goodness.
So I have a shirt for Mrs. Woods
Awesome.
and a shirt for
It's my
Miss
favorite
Haley.
color.
I love that color too.
That's so
Oh,
funny. You didn't even ask us our favorite colors, but you nailed
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Color combos are
Yeah,
perfect.
Love
I know.
it.
I'm clearing out my
Gaggle
stash.
approved.
Yes,
Gaggle
you're a
approved
Gaggle
member.
approved
Love
member.
it. Do
We-
you,
those are some
do you
good colors.
cricket?
Yes.
Yes, me
I
too.
cricket. Speaking of, our merch is live.
Yes.
Ashley Ray makes things.
Yes, Ashley makes things, or on our website, sillygooseteacherclub.com.
Yep.
Nice.
Some cool stuff on there and
Yeah.
reasonably priced.
Like
Those
this hoodie.
are my favorite types of shirts. Comfort color. They are a little bit more
Comfort
than like
colors.
the Gildan t-shirts. So if
Oh,
you're just
yeah.
looking for a easy get in Gildan shirt, we do have those. But the comfort colors,
We're about affordability for teachers.
yes,
Bella Canvas is another one that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Those are good. They're a little bit pricier
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
the comfort colors have become literally my favorite shirt.
He may or may not have had me like make school shirts in comfort colors,
Yep.
so he could just have. The
Our
comfy
deal was
area.
I kept Alani's in my
Yeah.
cupboard, and she had free access to Alani's as long as every now and then she comes in with a shirt. So I got
I
a lot
like
of shirts.
that deal.
Yeah, that was a great
What else
deal
do you
for
need?
me. Yeah, right.
Well, this has been great.
This is fun.
Yeah,
So fun. Thank you guys.
I was a little
Thank you
nervous, but it
guys
was
for
just
coming.
yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's my first
That's
podcast.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, we didn't make Whitlock do his best honk.
we'll have to
Oh,
record it and
my.
put it on.
All right, so to end, you're gonna give us your best goose honk.
I've heard you guys do the hot clap or
Yeah.
the honk.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We were trying to transform the hot clap into a
hawk.
hawk.
Yeah.
I like it. We could just
The
do
honk is
a
different.
honk clap, like 1, 2, 3.
We all
Like I did in our
Yeah.
social skills
Yeah.
class. I did
Yeah.
that with a group.
What did they think?
It was a group of 7 boys,
Oh.
ranging literally from kindergarten to 4th grade, and they were in. They were like, "All right."
But then he left the next day, and then when I didn't want to do the goose honk in the
Oh.
class, they all just kept doing it.
Uh,
Yeah, because we had
boy.
combined their social
I mean,
skills.
that's gonna happen.
So does the honk just sound like a?
so I'll give you mine.
I'd like some modeling.
Honk.
It's from the soul, you know.
That's like from the belly.
Yeah. I know. I just.
Mine is very weak.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What is it?
Honk.
You're like the baby.
I kissed the baby.
I just saw that today.
But yeah, they're just like a honk. Like it's not like you're actually trying to sound like a goose. You're just saying honk.
Oh, I go for full goose.
Okay.
That reminded me. Did you guys like my Portuguese joke that I told on Witty Wednesday one day?
Maybe they didn't get to
Oh
hear
my
it.
god. Okay.
feel like
Do we have
better-
time to do this?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But now you know the punchline, so you can't say it. But so Melissa,
Yes.
yesterday there was a ruckus out on my porch.
A ruckus.
Yes, it was a ruckus. There's a whole bunch of noise, and so I went out there and I was like, "What are these geese doing on my porch?" And I was like, "Geese, you need to leave. I have things to do. I have a busy day." And they just looked at me, and they didn't leave. And I'm like, "No, really, you guys gotta go. You gotta go." And they wouldn't leave. And then it dawned on me, I don't speak Portuguese.
Oh my goodness. I did hear that.
How did we miss that?
I don't know.
Probably because it sounded like a
There's always
story,
a lot
and there's a lot going on.
happening. Good morning.
Mornings are pretty chaotic in my room.
My 4th grade boys were probably showing up 10 minutes early again. I'm like, not yet.
Yeah.
They just love you so much.
Yeah.
They love you there.
That was a good one, though.
I like it. I like
Okay.
it.
Solid.
Oh.
So is a hawk honk?
Yeah.
No, I could wait. How is it?
1, 2, 3, honk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was doing the
Honk,
hawk. The hawk.
Yeah.
Ah, but a ah.
Yeah. I like that. Or if you're an angry goose, you could hiss.
Ooh.
Yes, that's good. That's solid.
I've been hissed that way.
I have so many geese in my neighborhood. And they're so
mean.
Yeah.
If they have babies, you better look
Yeah.
out.
Some
for
geese in the
real.
neighborhood. The Will Smith.
got in one little fight. Mom got
Yes,
scared.
On that note,
Yay.
what? Are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. The
Hold on.
5th graders were actually debating this at the inflatable race. The 5th graders swore it was 2 claps and then a hawk.
I thought it
No,
was 3.
it's 3.
And Whitlock was like, I told you it was 3.
Yeah, I think that it's because they missed the first clap, so they might only do 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a true
So-
point.
Ah.
All right, so 3 and honk.
3 and
Yeah.
Oh
honk.
my gosh. Okay.
All right.
That was good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.